days cranking this car.
Jeez, you're gonna be floating, my friend.
What'd you say?
You're gonna be floating. Yeah, there's a little warm up music there for you, everybody. Hello, rail friends. Thanks for being with Casey and I on another trackside live at the next crossing. And we pulled up. Crash has already got everything scoped out for us. And I asked him, what did he have to report? What's going on? What all has he seen? And he didn't have to answer because he hasn't seen anything, right? Not a thing. Nada, zero, and no. All in the same sentence. Now I'm going to guess everything's out on the joint line today because I just talked to Jesse from Whistleboard Productions. Most of you that have been on with us before know Jesse. And he's been out on the joint line, the Chattanooga sub line. And he had a pretty good afternoon, he said. So I guess everything's headed to Alabama rather than Atlanta or Knoxville. But as Mama Bear will tell you, Crash will tell you, it's like going fishing. You know the fish are down there. It's just whether or not they're going to bite. If you do get a bite, what are you going to catch? And if you do get a catch, what's it going to be? So, now the good news is, Crash has been here waiting so long, he's got us a green light. So we know we got at least one fish that's biting. And we are going to pull that fish up and out of the water right here, trackside live. And if you've not been with us before, this is no production. Casey doesn't speed it up. If it's 2 hours to the next train, it's 2 hours to the next train. Chat live with us, any questions you may have. And I always tell you the date because if we talk about something that's going on tomorrow and you watch this from our library in a week, well, you think I'm going to do it tomorrow, which was this tomorrow, not your tomorrow. So it is March 27th, if I'm not mistaken. Am I right?
I don't know.
Let me just double check because I don't want to tell you anything wrong. I made a mistake the other day and boy, I got corrected in a hurry. And that's what I have you guys for. Quality control and mistake correction. And yes, I was right. I do know it's Thursday for sure, but yes, it is Thursday, March 27th of 2025. And at the end of this live, it processes through YouTube from the recording device. You see it usually with a 6 to 8 second delay. So if I fall down, 8 seconds from now, you're going to laugh, and then you're going to say, oh, do we need to call help for him? And yesterday, a couple of you thought that did happen because the wind was tremendous. And we were equipped with this cool setup, this hitch bumper and everything, put the big umbrella up, keep the radiant heat off and everything. That thing come folding over, it just bent that pipe so quick. Next thing you know, I'm under it. The recording device is going through the top of it, it's sticking out of the top of the umbrella. I haven't had a chance to see it, but it looked like we were going down. So, and it is a smoky night. This is our second time that we've been here. It is an incredibly smoky night in Georgia, or excuse me, in Chattanooga, and I don't really know over towards the Georgia, over towards Alabama, coming from the west side of town. My office isn't far from here, and as you look across, for any of you familiar with Chattanooga, look out, mountains, huge. It's so smoky over that way, I couldn't even see the mountain. Now, a couple folks said there was a big fire in Sasquatchie Valley the other day, and they think it's the smoke left from that, but that's a lot of leftover smoke. So, call it haze, whatever. From here, it's not too bad. You just kind of see just a grayish mass across the perimeter behind us. Other than that, what's newsy? Yesterday was a lot of fun. Filmed my first bald eagle out by the drawbridge. And I'm going to grab a water. If y'all want one, get one too. Filmed my first bald eagle yesterday out by the drawbridge just before Bridgeport, Alabama. And it was really windy. It was really cool. He or she, I'm not sure which, he just put his arms out and just sit there, and the wind was so strong he would just fly without having to move. It was really, really cool. And got all set up, was all excited because when I tell you we went to nowhere, it was a 4-digit number for the road that we were on. It was wide enough for the truck, and then the paving turned to rocks, turned to dirt. And then we came out in the middle of nowhere. Oh, we've got horn, it sounds like. And as many of you know, particularly on the Atlanta North District, and that's where we are, I'm going to listen just a little bit more because I do have a second scanner on back here. Atlanta North District comes up from Atlanta over to Rome, to Dalton, Appleton, Cohutta, Varnell, those areas, and then past us. There's a diverge point with the switch controlled out of Atlanta, just past the signal indication, where the two tracks run together. Knoxville West End comes in from this side, Atlanta North comes in from this, and then it becomes known as Atlanta North District that from that point on. There is a diverge point. For those of you who have not been with us before, Coffee's Cliff, excuse me, not Coffee's Cliff, Bootlegger's Crossing, just on the other side of the signal there, up by the Ooltewah Cemetery. And you've seen, if you've been with me before, many times up there. And it's really kind of a neat place because there's no geographical marker, but it does have a Google location point, just handed down by folklore over the years. that the trains and the runners and the bootleggers and all work together under the cover of darkness to avoid the revenue agents. So, since I'm feeling we may have our northbound pretty close, because it did sound and there is a distance point. We got some mountains, hills back here, kind of messes up the sound, but yep, we were right. Here we go, first one in the bag. Auto racks on the front behind those whiskers. Looks like 2 locomotives up front. And as you look westward, you can see that grayish mass, whatever you want to call it, cover across the skyline. You decide what color you want to call it. And that's what color we'll use. If Mama Bear's on, I haven't looked to see who's on, But if Mama Bear is, we're not going to do much for your sunset tonight, Mama Bear. You may have to go back and look at a different one. Where our westbound train, he wasn't here for a long time, but he was here for a short good time as he rolled on past us without any hesitation. We didn't get that warm welcome that we wanted. We didn't get that massive wave that we'd hoped for. And we didn't get a train salute from here to the next crossing. But hey, we're easy to get along with. We can have fun no matter what our circumstances are. And like I said, Crash is hanging out with us. You guys are with him all the time. Crash, give everybody a wave there from the cockpit. He's monitoring the channel over there on the lights over on the other side, because for the Knoxville West End, they're bent to the right, angled to the right. Bent's probably not a good word. So the engineer can see it when they come around the corner. See, it is so, again, I guess I'm just going to stick with smoky, that even the camera is having trouble adjusting to give you a good light, just because it can't pick up some good colors to reflect from. So even modern technology doesn't like smoke. So those are the signal indication lights going west towards Chattanooga. And we're just short of the 227 mile post. Scanner's on, quiet, but on. Up front, on our westbound, Norfolk Southern 1220 with 8146. The power on the front of that. And we had a couple of this and a couple of that. Hello, Southern Railroad Rail fan. Heads up. Okay, everybody, heads up. Southern Railroad Rail fan wants you all to know CSX 1025-27 has both CSXT 1853 and 1850 together. Neither of them are leading, unfortunately. 1853 is in the second position on the head end, and 1850 is on a mid DPU on I-025-27. Hello, Jonathan. How are you tonight? Eugene, what is new in your world? As y'all can see, we just have a smoke-covered environment tonight. Crash and I are just wondering, should we run? Should we hide? Should we get the water bottle out? Should we just stay here so we aren't close to any brush? What should we do? But again, nobody's told us what it's from. I've asked 3 people and got 3 answers. Okay, Jonathan's going to fill us in. Thanks. Ravenhawk, you're always just in time. That's what I like about you. You have that sixth sense, kind of like Jesse. He can find a train in the middle of the night in total darkness and have it be a heritage locomotive, and if they don't stop where he wants it, he can actually talk them into moving. It is amazing. All right, there are 2 controlled burns. Seems to me if I was going to smoke up the environment like this, I don't know that I'd start it. But anyhow, we have 2 controlled burns, according to Jonathan. One is Taylor Ridge, and the other is Pigeon Mountain. So, if I was a deer, bear, antelope, raccoon, squirrels, or otherwise, I would be calling U-Haul to move my residence right now. Robert, you go home and stay inside, and you hang on to that dog, okay? We don't want you two out here in the smoke. Before I go to coughing pretty soon and whatnot. Good to see you, Robert. Ravenhawk, always good to see you. Now, I'm going to give you all a sneak peek. We have another northbound coming out of Dalton. Don't know how fast he's going to be. And I'm going to say, now I haven't picked winning lottery numbers, so don't go bet the farm on this. But we also have a container train coming. And it's about that time of the day for 29F. Actually, it's a tad late, but it could be 29F making his way south that we usually see every evening. Sometimes a tad earlier, sometimes a tad later. So, coming from behind, we'll listen for the defect detector at the 230, which will be 3 miles short of us. And I'm going to lay my odds he's going to go south, and since he is a container train, he will have priority, I would assume, which means our northbound will get held at Long, which is the first point. Single track goes back to double. So as long as that stays red over red, my assumptions are a pretty good bet. If it turns to green, then you're going to be happy you didn't bet on me. Whoa, here comes Jesse. We're going to have to paint some lines for everybody pulling up here. So, we know we got those two things going on. Like I said, Crash has been looking for hours, and he couldn't find a train wheel that came off. It's been so quiet. But hey, it's starting to pick up. So that's good news. And then, and again, don't quote me, but I think we all had talked about this the other night. And Robert works in Jasper, just out of curiosity. Oh, we got a notification here on Heritage Locomotives. Somebody's car horn going off in the distance. Now that Jesse's pulled up, we're almost guaranteed to get a Heritage unit comes by here. He has the inside track with the coordinator, I think. New York Central on its way to the debug yard in Chattanooga on NS 177, coming down the C&O and TP South Sub. Went through Rockwood, Tennessee 19 minutes ago. And they didn't put if he's leading the back of the train or running along behind to get caught up. Ah, well, see, I told you Jesse would know. Jesse knows it's a rear DPU facing out with a shiny new C6M up on the front. So, for those of you on the CNO and TP, you got something exciting. You just got to hope that between the sunset and the, I guess we'll call it smog, right? Fire, smoke. I guess we'll just stick with smoke. That's easier. Smog makes it sound like we're a big city out west in California. So we'll just stick with the smoke from the controlled burns that are messing up our night so we all can't breathe right. So that's it on news. Nothing else. But anyhow, back to what we were talking about. Like I said, don't quote me. Don't get you a parking space yet. But I think if we can get up in the morning, X Production 6 and myself, there's nobody else going along. But if I can get up in the morning, we're going to go to Decatur, Alabama. Now, somebody said, don't go. There are no hotel rooms. Spring break. And I thought to myself, Huntsville? What do I want to do in Huntsville? Well, when I was young, I wanted to go to the Space Museum. When I was old, there wasn't anything on my list other than to take my son to the Space Museum. And then I gave it some more thought. Athens, Alabama. I'm on spring break. I think it's one of the first 10 places I thought of that I would want to go. And then I took it one step further. Decatur, Alabama. Yeah, that's where I want to spend my spring break. So, as long as I can find a hotel room, we will probably go, because I have a hard time believing that spring break has overrun Athens and Decatur, Alabama. Now, I could be wrong. There could be something I don't know about. Some big, exciting whatever there. And if there is, you guys tell me. But if all goes right, hello, Mama Bear. Boy, your sunset's in jeopardy tonight, Mama Bear. All we got is this orange ball coming through the smoke behind the water tower. Matter of fact, I think we'll move just so you can see it. Since there is no sun, we certainly aren't going to mess up our view here of the sunset. And we certainly aren't going to break the camera because of all the brightness. So, y'all put a seatbelt on. We're going to move here a little bit. There. I'll set you down gently. Now we got to get realigned here. Just a tad. Let's see. All right. There's your old water tower. For those of you that haven't been here, that's where the old depot used to be. It's just on the other side of that track and that old siding. Yes, kid, you're right. You have an absolute match with your Rail Moments shirt, because that is the same color. So we'll just kind of stay right here. May have to move the truck, so I got a bench to sit on. Certainly not going to put the umbrella up. It looks like it fell down about 6 times. And I've cranked it back into place, but it went over completely to the ground 3 times yesterday. And like I said, I've not watched last night's video, but I'm under it one of those times. Here, Jesse's got it out of the truck there. Now, mind you, I bent it back into place, used it again. That didn't work. And then because there was so much radiant heat, we had to get it to work. So we got it out one more time and fixed it. And that is my metal repair workmanship that y'all are looking at. So, I guess we'll kind of leave you zoomed out because Mama Bear wants sunset. It's not every night that we have a smoke-induced sunset. And we'll tune in just a tad so maybe we can get some signal lights in here as we await, which is probably, or what is probably going to be, 29F. So, Robert, update on the dog, please. Mama Bear, There's your sunset. Kid, I gotta check and see what notes you've sent me. Don't know if you've found anything out there or not. Papa Bear, which is Kid Outdoors, he has got the AGS line all covered. Make sure nothing gets by without a full report to you guys tonight. I heard sound, not Jesse X up on the scanner.
Sorry.
Nope.
I just spent money. I bought me a model of the law enforcement unit.
Did you?
Yep.
Jesse made so much money this week, he's buying stuff. Couldn't wait to get home. Gonna do it right here in the parking lot.
It was a steal too.
He got a deal on it. He used coupons.
I paid $200 for a $700 engine.
Whoa. What happened to BROKE?
It's called not eating out every day. Eating PB&J and leftovers allows you to spend more money on other things.
Everybody, we have a direct line call from Brian. So y'all give me a minute. Let me see what Brian's up to. He's probably got some kind of exciting, earth-shattering news he wants to share with y'all. So you guys hang out with X Sunset. Mama Bear, I'm going to give you a little bit more. There. Now you got the old sunburst. Yes, sir. Everybody, Brian's calling in. A friend of his told him that I-25 is passing through Bell Buckle, Tennessee. Now, if y'all don't know where that is, don't ask me because I don't either. Now, it's in between Cowan, the famous town of Cowan that we talk about so many times, and up there by Tony, above Tony. So, matter of fact, speaking of Tony, there he is right now. Tony, you better get ready. I-25 is getting close. It's going through the exciting town of Bell Buckle. Is that even a town?
Yes.
Oh, okay. It's a real town, everybody. So it's, y'all get your atlas out, or if you're old like me, if you're not old, then just get your phone out and you'll find Bell Buckle, Tennessee. And that is where, oh, we got train. Did he say 29F? Can I call you back? Okay. I do believe he said 29F, y'all.
Imagine that. That sunset is pretty cool.
Whoa, look at that. We're going to see it come through the smoke. It's going to be like a show. Right before the stage opens, the smoke rises from the stage, and then poof comes the train. Okay, everybody wave. Ain't right. You wave too. Crashes. An ST-70 ACE 29F rolling past. And y'all, since everybody waved, we got a horse.
Good club.
And that is what you call roll it on. You leaving us? Are you a 4X or 3X or 4X? I ordered some 4X.
Yeah, I'm getting hungry.
Now you're gonna make me hungry. I think I'll let. Yeah, you should. Yeah, you got room. And there goes 29F with those UPS trailers rolling behind him. Headed on down to Varnell. So if any of you are down at Long, let us know, because if you are at Long, you should have a northbound holding there waiting to come see us. Mama Bear? Before it's gone, there's your sunset, smoke-filled sky with a water tower, 4 regs, Jesse and I, and a wave goodbye to everybody from Crash.
Oh, that was Crash?
Mm-hmm.
Oh.
And for those of you that come up here, I picked up an entire big 55-gallon bag of trash. Now, unless you want to see me pick up more trash, don't throw it here. Take it home. Now, somebody threw that right there, right where I stand half the time. How dare they?
Somebody go to Starbucks.
Somebody's been to Starbucks. That was Jesse's foot y'all saw. If y'all don't know Jesse, there's Jesse. Jesse brought food.
We're not sponsored by Chick-fil-A.
We,
We wish.
yeah, we wish we were sponsored by Chick-fil-A, but instead we just buy at Chick-fil-A.
Exactly.
Seth is working on board membership by seeing how much Chick-fil-A he can. And speaking of Seth, if you're at Long, tell us. All right, I'm going to leave the old water tower in the picture, the smoke-filled sky, and like I said, we are 4 regs, and somebody's car is over at Bootleggers. So if you're over there, wave. And remember, we're trying to get to our goal of 2,000 subscribers by tomorrow.
Oh, wow.
No, I'm just kidding y'all. I just want to get y'all motivated. So make sure, find somebody you like and tell them all about us. And then if you don't have enough, find somebody you don't like. And just tell them to find somebody they like, and then we'll have it all put together. We'll have like the no likes, and then we'll have a whole bunch of likes. See how that goes? What do they call that? A Ponzi scheme, I think. So, that's your all's mission. Tell them we have to all keep up with Robert and how his dog's doing. And for those of you who have been watching for the last, what has it been, Robert, 2 weeks now? The dog is getting better. That's good news, because I am a dog lover. We have a senior dog. Her name is Harley. She's a Schipperke. Schipperke. They're very rare in the States. They originated in Belgium as dogs for the royalty there. She's 16 and doesn't know it. So we have the whole house old dog proofed. And she refuses to use her steps on and off the couch, so we got her these great big foam steps, but the cover was so slippery for her, we just used the foam part. And we have these great big squares that are, I don't know, 3 inches or 2 inches thick that are green. We have those two on top, one of another. So every time she jumps off of everything, she's got a landing pad. It's kind of like gymnastics for old dogs at our house. And since her peripheral's getting just a little weak, Mrs. S wrapped the couple things that are kind of, like the coffee table. She wrapped the legs, this great big old leather cushiony thing. So looks like we've got a boxing ring corner there. So we make sure. So Robert, I know when they don't feel good, none of us feel good. So I'm glad everything's getting better with yours. Boy, look how much that sun has fallen, just a little bit. Ooh. Make sure y'all take off work tomorrow, put in PTO so you can all go hang out. And Robert, you and me both. That's why I drive a Flex. It's the senior citizen's automobile of choice. Tony, gonna be kind of a little bit over your way on the way to, well, I guess you're still too north of there, on our way over to Decatur, Alabama tomorrow. Not too far from where Helen Keller was born, there by Muscle Shoals, Florence area. And the Railroad Museum over there has some of her stuff in it. Jesse's dying from the smoke.
Yep.
You want a water?
I got some.
I'd offer him an unsweet tea, but you want to see a funny looking face? Whoa. We go from normal look to instant oh my look. I can't say the other words on here, but yeah, he was so thirsty one night, and I told him all I had. So he grabbed it, took about 3 big gulps, thought I was trying to kill him with it. That was the last he took of it. He decided it was either death or go find sweet tea.
You know what I ought to do is just keep some sugar in the car, so if I do end up dying and there is no water, I can sweeten the unsweet tea.
See, he's got a plan. Mama Bear, look at this. Or all of you guys, look at this. It almost looks like there's a forest fire there. You know, back, especially for us old people, they used to have those lights that would have a light bulb in it. They'd wrap something around it and it would move and it would simulate something burning or whatever. There were mood lights when, before they had the hot lavas and what have you. But Mama Bear, there's you a first. Right there. I'm just going to leave it right there for you. Tune it out just a little bit. Whoa, that's too much. I thought if I put the water tower in, it'd be a little cool, but nah, water tower screws it up. So, there. Now I can just focus on the same distance. Mama Bear says, hello, Jesse.
Hi.
And you got to return, hi, Mama Bear.
Here in a second, I can show them pictures from yesterday.
29F is already through Dalton.
Are you serious?
Yep, there he goes.
Whoa.
Well, that sure looks like it. Let's see if there's UPS on it. Might be the train in front of him. I might have lied, but let's see. If he's got UPS strings on him.
Well, if he had one on the head end, it's probably him.
I didn't see the front, but I don't remember having
No,
two.
that's not 29F.
Okay, I fibbed. It's not 29F. He's not that fast.
29F doesn't usually have those containers on it. They have the green ones.
Okay, false alarm. 29F still headed that way.
How about that? You must have hit the afterburner between here and there.
Yeah, it is a little quick. Ain't right? Are you trackside tonight? CSX NS rail fan? You're at the Bucks Yard? Well, you got action coming to you.
4,000 should be in the yard somewhere.
And if you go exploring, Jesse just said you should find 4,000 in the yard somewhere. And you've got Penn Central, right? Coming down?
New York Central.
New York Central. New York. See, I knew there was a Central in there somewhere. New York Central making its way down the CNO and TP, headed to the Bucks Yard. And Tony, what's going to happen at this event on the 12th?
I gotta say, Mike, I did some trimming today, and I missed your toy.
Anytime you need it, just let me know. Oh, you were railroad trimming.
Yeah.
Oh, look at the happy couple. Mama Bear and Papa Bear are taking a picture, or they took a picture, on the AGS line together, wearing, oh, we got green, wearing green shirts, wearing Rail Moments orange shirts. Now, I'll tell you what, you guys absolutely would blend in right now with that background. Now, I'll tell you what, just because that's so unique, I'm just going to show y'all just to tease you a little bit, just so y'all know. And look how green that light is with that smoke-filled background that we have from those controlled burns that we talked about. There is our green over red. So 29F is passed along, and our northbound that was sitting there waiting has been given the clear for approach. And now, I don't want to swing it too fast there and give you all a headache. We're going to go back to something we don't get to see every night, just because with the smoke and what have you, that is a one-of-a-kind sunset right here from where Jesse and I are watching. Now, you can't tell me that isn't going to make a cool video as we will try and stay ahead of our northbound locomotive. And maybe we can get him rolling into that orange. Just depends on if he can get here before that sun goes bloop behind the mountain there. So I'm going to leave you all there because we don't always get to see that, but we can always find a green light. And hopefully tomorrow we find a lot of green lights over in Decatur, Alabama, where they say everyone goes for spring break. Oh, that's kind of cool. There you go. We're not that far from Chattanooga Metropolitan Airport, and I know y'all aren't excited, but there is a plane. Whoa, I know. Everybody says, whoa, that's exciting. And they're flying towards the sun. Boy, don't you think those passengers have a great view?
Oh, yeah.
Above the burn line.
I wonder what Chattanooga looks like from the air.
Who I know what it looked like from the office. Couldn't see it. Chattanooga from the air must look like a great big smoke bomb went off in it.
Yeah, I was talking to John, and he was a respiratory therapist for 35 years. And he told me, he says, yeah, if it's like this tomorrow you probably shouldn't go to work and breathe that in all day. I said, yeah, that sounds like a pretty good alibi to have there.
Art, did you hear that? Jesse is coming up with alibis. Thanks, Mama Bear and Papa Bear, for that picture on the AGS line.
I have probably been leaving early though, since I skipped 6 yesterday.
You
We were
need to
just so
stay and pay
short-handed.
for that new
New engine?
new engine.
Yeah.
I'm gonna go after this train and find dinner.
Yep.
And while it's quiet, y'all listen carefully for that horn. It's just, and as Kid Outdoor always says, or Papa Bear, aka, the moment of serenity is always so awesome. And with a picture like that, we're just going to absorb the warmth, listen for our train, and I'm going to be quiet. So, take all that in, listen for our horn, while we can still see it. Thank you, Bag Squatch. Our northbound that we talked about, that we summarized was probably sitting at Long. Bag Squatch is trackside there at Long, and it is rolling our way. That puts it here within 12. Mama Bear and Papa Bear are taking pictures with the Trenton sign. You two make such a couple. Aww. Bag Squatch says it's rolling.
What's that?
Bag Squatch says it's rolling.
Okay. Where are they at? Long?
Yepper.
Cool. Then yeah, because they're here in about 15.
Do you have to leave at 8 or be there at 8?
I'll
Okay, I won't get in trouble.
She's done late, so she's got to take down. She has handball practice. Handball.
Oh, ding-a-ling-a-ling.
So we got to take everything down and put it away. Yeah. Still working on trailers for my business.
Detangle love. That's something. And everybody, if you're not paying attention to the chat, Bagsquatch has sent you all a message. This is on our northbound that they're letting us know. See, this is what makes this so much fun. It's kind of like knowing what's in the Christmas gift before you unwrap it. But when you unwrap it, you get to have the excitement twice. Bagsquatch letting y'all know northbound is on the move it long, which is there in Appleton. 4885 is 3 of 3 on our northbound, and it is looking clean. So while it was sitting down there, they must have got the bucket out, the great big old long brushes, and they gave 4885 a bath just for you guys. So if that train will hurry up, we're going to see a fresh washed, sparkling Norfolk Southern locomotive 4885 third back. And kid, don't you hate it when that happens? You can't count them all. You hear the whistles or whatever, you see them going by. So you rush down to the tracks. You get the boat and put it out there in the middle of the lake because all those fish were just a jumping. And then not one of them likes your worm and you don't see one. That's exactly how it happens. And that is the story of your arrival on the AGS line. No fish, no trains, wrong bait, and a hole in the boat. Now, Jesse, while we have a moment, is this yesterday?
This is today.
Oh, Jesse's going to show you all a couple pictures while he was out on the joint line. So I'm going to let him yak while we are awaiting our train.
Okie dokie.
Here, I'll go full screen so you can see from that side.
Yeah.
Well, I'm going to try and do that. That's as full as it wants to go.
So, let's try this here. We usually get this to work. Is it focused?
Yep.
So this is CSX's Seaboard System Emblem, quote-unquote, heritage unit. That is about all the heritage you get on these older, quote-unquote, heritage units. But this guy was leading a auto rack train heading towards Nashville this afternoon on the joint line. So this location is Hooker, Georgia. It is if you get off the interstate. I don't know what exit it is, but it is the Wildwood exit. You get on Georgia 299, go a little ways, and you'll see a road. It's called Hooker Cemetery Road. You go up over a hill, and the tracks make the train climbs up the grade back that way, and then it heads towards Whiteside, and then eventually Nickajack, Bridgeport, etc. So that was today, and then I'll show you.
169 exit is behind Kid and Mama Bear's house.
Oh, well then, y'all should know exactly where that is. So these two pictures are from, well, a couple pictures are from yesterday. This is the Atlantic Coastline Heritage Unit when CSX decided they're going to paint a little more of the engine in heritage colors, but we still couldn't get the whole engine. This is at Lookout Mountain. I had gone down to Wauhatchie to wait for it to go into the yard, but it took too long and it was getting dark, so I got in a little bit closer where the drone could reach and flew down and got some pictures of it sitting there. It was a mid-DPU on M584, if I'm not mistaken, heading to Nashville. And before that, the excuse me, Norfolk Southern's Conrail Heritage Unit made an appearance.
Oh, y'all gonna love this shot.
This is in the Butts yard at, where the Conrail is Control Point Pratt, but the head end of the train stopped at Control Point Webb. This is train 16T. Conrail is a DPU, as you can see by the EOT down there on his front. 16T usually works Chattanooga, however, yesterday it did not have any work in Chattanooga, so they just stopped it and got it a new crew, and it's heading up to Pennsylvania. And here's a bit of different angle there. So I flew the drone around and got some pictures, got some video, and I actually relocated to just right. There's a parking lot over here, and I relocated over there to get some pictures of the Conrail on the broadside. And as I pulled in, a CSX train was going by, and I'm like, well, shoot, I have to wait for the CSX train to pass. Well, much to my surprise, what rolls by right beside the Conrail but the Atlantic Coastline as a DPU on the CSX train? And there was actually a spine car or a lumber car right in front of the Atlantic Coastline. So for a split second and in a mental picture only, I saw those two heritage units side by side. So that
And
was
he
pretty
didn't
cool.
get a picture of it.
Yep.
He still hasn't gotten over that, so I thought I'd bring it up. Okay, we got horn. Horn to go with our green light. Y'all ready? Jesse is. He's on the point. Jesse had a big train day yesterday. Kid, those memories are so cool that we make with our kids. Bag Squatch, thanks for cleaning engine number 3 for us. Y'all get ready to see a shiny engine, compliments of Bag Squatch, where they gave it a bath while it was sitting down there in Long. Everybody saw the light. I see Jesse. Good job, y'all, for seeing the light. Where we invented the word glowing on this channel. I think that was started by Cody and Matthew, maybe, if my memory's right. All right, everybody. We are going to start our closing countdown. It is 8:05 Eastern Standard Time. Smoke-filled here at the bootlegging crossing. Just think, back in the day, fog rolled through here at night. They loaded and unloaded that illegal liquor from the trains and shipped it out of here and loaded it on the cars. They went racing across the countryside and all the rest of the things that happened right here. So, 8:15 our time, Mike is going to head to dinner. Probably a Cracker Barrel dinner tonight. I feel meatloaf with lots of ketchup. Side salad with French. Some mashed taters. And carrots. That's what it's going to be. All right. So we're going to hang out. 8:15 is head to Cracker Barrel time. Right around the corner from where we are.
Good luck tomorrow.
Don't be using all those excuses on us. I keep you all posted.
Have a stupid good time.
Make sure you get up and warm tonight, okay? Somebody's got to go with me. Hey, it's past my bedtime. You're young. 8 a.m. work. Responsibility, that's what that's called.
There you go.
The R word.
Discretion. That's the other one.
Oh, responsibility and discretion.
But yeah, I have no real desire to get out at buck 30 to see two engines that I saw 6 days ago coupled together in the front of the train, instead of seeing them one trailing second, one as a VPU. I'm sorry, that's just not.
It's not in the top 10 list.
No, that didn't make the top 10. Alright, sir. I'll see you later.
Drive there with no misses. I said hi. I'll talk to you tomorrow.
Okie doke.
Y'all have a fantastic night. Okay, now 29F is going through Dalton. Just saw the UPS cars. If anybody's on either side of us, if you see anything, otherwise we are getting ready to wind down. That's W-I-N-D, not W-I-N-E. Mama Bear, Papa Bear, thanks for all you do. You guys still hanging out on the AGS? Bag Squatch, thank you very much for the update, and you guys did an outstanding job at your locomotive car wash located down there at Long in Appleton, Tennessee. Y'all did a fantastic job. Robert, that sounds like an experience above and beyond. And since we have that smoke haze, the sun coming through it, it's just kind of incredible. Y'all have 3 minutes left to enjoy what's left of our evening. Dinner is calling, and then it will be time to pack. And an update at 8 o'clock for those of you watching out for I-025. It was spotted south of Tullahoma. Just got a text. Somebody's chasing it. I-025 south of Tullahoma at 7:59 p.m. Wow, look at that. Oh, I wouldn't do it cheap. No, not with the, you got insurance costs and carrying all that water and those buckets and the chance to fall off the side of that locomotive. Oh yeah, I'd charge them big time. Robert, thank you. I'll keep you all posted tomorrow. But like I said, to the best of my knowledge, we will end up over in Alabama again tomorrow. Kid, glad you guys are home safe. Enjoy your evening. Oh, you guys, thank you. And as you all know, Mama Bear and Papa Bear look over quality control for me. Papa Bear sent me a note the other day. A little bit close, Mike, a little bit close. Every now and then I get excited, get sidetracked, forget what I'm doing, whatever it is that happens to me. And I'll have y'all on magnification, and pretty soon all you see is an earlobe. And he sent me a note, Mike, too close, too close. So, everybody, thanks for being with Casey and I here on Real Moments. As you know, we don't say goodbye. We only tell you we're going to see you at the next crossing. So don't forget, Send in your catch of the week. Anything you've seen in the last 7 to 10 days to railmoments.com. Can be a very short video or your favorite picks. And Casey will highlight each one, our pick of the week. Tell a friend. Have them subscribe. We appreciate it. Thank you for all the thumbs up. Thank you for sharing time with us. Thank you for sharing time with each other. And I think that's it for tonight. We weren't here a long time, but we were here for a good time. And I think that's it. I'm going to pack and then off to Cracker Barrel, home to pack, and then headed to Alabama in Production 6 tomorrow. Makes you think of the New Orleans or the Louisiana swamps. Something comes jumping out of there. See y'all at the next crossing.